Owning a boat is an incredible luxury in this life. However, as much awesomeness comes with owning a boat, there's also a ton of upkeep. And I put out a video on my TikTok several months ago, at least, and maybe multiple times over the years, about the struggle that I was having with cleaning mold and mildew. And so, if you understand mold and mildew, I'm not here to educate you on that because I'm not the expert. However, obviously, it thrives on things like moisture and darkness. And so, when a boat is covered, obviously, both of those things, when it's sitting on the water, are very prevalent. You couple that with feeding it things like tanning lotion, tanning oils, which it thrives off of, you've got the perfect equation to creating a habitat that mold and mildew thrive in. And so although I do a pretty good job of keeping it clean and taking good care of it after each use and whatnot, it just happens. You know, when your boat is covered, especially in the areas where the cover is directly over the top of the vinyl, it just is going to happen. And so I put out a video on my TikTok asking for help, asking for a boat cleaner to come forward. I assumed a boat cleaner would know how to get this mold and mildew off of these seats that has maybe been there for a number of years. I've owned my boat for 12 boating seasons, and nobody stepped forward. But recently, a manufacturer of a boat cleaner and preventer came forward, and the name of the product is called Xanigo Marine. And so I had a conversation with this company, and they sent me 3 products. And so what I have here is the Mold and Mildew Remover. So this is going to defeat and remove the mold and mildew that has been on your seats for however long it has been there. Then you've got the Mold and Mildew Preventer. This is actually where the rubber meets the road. Once you remove it, now you got to keep it from coming back. And so using this every roughly 90 days will keep that mold and mildew from coming back. And we're going to be testing this. And then lastly, what I need to do a better job of is cleaning after use. So this is your wash. And if you own a boat, you know that cleaning your boat is obviously a necessity. If you don't keep up with it, it's going to get those water stains, the mold and mildew that are almost impossible to remove. And so one of the things that I need to do better, because typically what we do is we get off the water. Sometimes, we've had a couple cocktails, and I usually set up a fan on the boat. We dry it, and then we go up and we be on our way. And then the next morning before we go back out on the boat, I'll clean it then, because overnight you get spiders and spider shit and whatnot. And so what I need to do a better job of is using this after I get off the boat to just wipe down the seats real quickly to remove the tanning oils and lotions, which just helps the preventer work. And it does not, by the way, wash off the preventer using this wash. So I'm excited to do this. So today, as you'll see from the B-roll here, we have cleaned the back side of our boat. So first of all, the remover did an incredible job. You'll see the before and afters and see the number that it did on the mold and mildew to clear it off. And then after that, I went through and I put the preventer on it. So I'm just doing the back of the boat, and I'm gonna leave the front of the boat. At the time of this recording, it's Labor Day weekend. So we're essentially the end of the season. We might get the boat out a few more times. We just won't get down here quite as often. And what I wanna do is I wanna test this out. So I wanna take this back of the boat that's now been cleaned, where the mold and mildew has been removed, and then now the preventer has been applied, and now we're essentially, the boat's gonna sit for the most part from now, September, till next May, other than maybe a handful of times that we take it out. And we're gonna leave the front of the boat again as it is, as it was, and then see if more mold and mildew accumulates on the front and nothing accumulates back here. Because again, I have, if you go and look at the TikTok video where I asked for a boat cleaner to come forward, I got hundreds of comments of people just giving all of their different remedies and suggestions and which type of boat cleaner to use. And truthfully, this is the first one that has actually put a dent and removed the vast majority of the mold and mildew. It didn't remove every single speck, but it's night and day, as you will see, obviously, as you're watching this video. So this is our next test here, if you will, and some advice for you. So if you own a boat and you struggle with this, or you haven't found a product that kicks ass, by early indication, this product kicks ass. So it's Xanigo, it's Mold and Mildew. You want to get the remover, then you want to apply the preventer, and then you want to do a good job every time you're using the boat, every time you get off the boat, to wash the seats. And we'll see what happens here. So I want to know, if you're a boater, if you own a boat, you know, how much do you struggle with this? How much time do you spend doing this? My wife always teases me, saying, you know, if you would only spend as much time helping around cleaning the house and the cars as you do cleaning your boat, I can only imagine what our house would look like. And I know that's somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but if you own a boat, you know exactly what she means. So hopefully we found something, we found a product here that is going to be the magical correction to all of our struggles with the cleanliness and the mold and mildew in our boat. And I hope this helps you potentially find a new product, or tell us in the comments, you know, what has worked for you or what hasn't worked, so people can learn from it and we can all continue to have cleaner boats. See you on the next video.